Good morning, guys. I'm on the road with Simon, good friend here behind the camera. Yeah, and right now we're going to Aarhus, traveling from Copenhagen all the way to Aarhus to visit CISU, to have an inspiring talk about what CISU does, who they are, why do they exist, and also get a little bit of a better understanding of these new funding modalities that they have started to push out, especially the civic space modality.
My name is Mette Kjerting, and I work as an advisor in CISU, Civil Society in Development. We are a Danish civil society organization, sort of a union of more than 270 Danish civil society organizations. And what characterizes them is that they all work globally through partnerships. What characterizes the partnerships mostly is that people understand that the needs on the ground, understanding the needs on the ground, the needs of the target groups, the needs of the partners, that should come from the local partners, the local target groups, so that the Danish organizations mostly play a supportive role, can provide technical assistance in terms of the focus, the thematic focus of the project, or in terms of organizational development aspects or funding or project financial management stuff, for example. These are just examples of it.
My name is Anders Reimers Larsen, and I'm an advisor with the CISU, Civil Society in Development. You can say civic space is basically about what are the main conditions for a civil society to function as they would. You should be free to actually do what you want to do. If you have a purpose that you want to follow, if you are somehow not free to pursue that, if you cannot meet and discuss it with your target group, if you cannot function with an office because it's broken into, if you cannot speak freely on social media about what you want to do, then your civic space is infringed upon. So in that situation, civic space is basically saying, other words of saying the basic human rights in many ways. The freedom of speech, freedom of assembly. And so in that sense, it's basically that fundamental operational space for civil society actors to do what they want to do. So basically, it's important to say that civic space infringements were already taking place prior to COVID-19. There's been a lot of reporting globally, also nationally. There's been a lot of attention in Denmark on the civic space situation across the globe. And I think it's an important point that it's important that it's early on it has been recognized that COVID-19 is not only a health crisis. It's a democratic crisis, it's an economic crisis, it's a lot of crises that just falls upon each other. And I think it's quite key now that, at least in the future, that we even stop talking about COVID-19 as the main crisis. It's a bigger crisis, and it's quadruple crisis in many cases, where you just have a lot of layers of things that play together in a bad way for especially the most marginalized. So in that sense, it was you can say that this rebuilding civic space was a recognition that COVID-19 is not only a health crisis, but it's also important now that we also recognize that it's now is involved in so many other crises at the same time.
I definitely see the positive side of the COVID-19 crisis through this, and I think through that solidarity has really flourished throughout more than 1 year now. And I can really see that from our member organizations and their partners that you can really sense a sense of solidarity and a huge drive to make a difference together.